the topic, what is karma? Karma has been given various definitions by different scholars. We are going to tackle this particular subject by our own definition. Karma is the sum total of all actions and reactions. So, what is karma? Any action performed by you. Now, when I say an action performed by you, it is not only physical, it is action, words, deeds, and even thoughts. You may ask me why thoughts are included in this. I will explain that to you in the later half of this video. First, let us start with the topic called karma. Any action that you do, that action has to be completed, or if it is incomplete, then it needs to be completed in your next life or maybe the next. I really wouldn't be able to tell you which life you will complete your actions. These actions that happen have a reaction. What is the reaction? Here I will give you a number of examples by means of which you will understand what exactly am I talking about. When you go to the marketplace, you have to buy a dozen mangoes. Are you going to pay that person in cash? The transaction is only completed if you have paid the person value worth. If the person says, this is 500 rupees a kilo, you have to pay 500 rupees. If he says it's $1,000, then you have to pay $1,000. Of course, you are going to negotiate on that. You may say, why should I pay 1,000? I will pay you only 400. We are not talking about that. It is the terms on which these things are agreed upon. The value of the item has to be paid. So when you take the particular goods, you are going to pay that amount to that person. Then the transaction is complete. So this is a market transaction. Now let us take another example. You are going to buy a car. Now the car cannot be bought just like that. You may take a loan from the bank. When you take a loan, you have to pay the interest also. Suppose the total value of the car, including the loan and the interest, comes to about $20,000. You have to pay till the last penny, till the last cent that is there, till the time it comes to 20,000. It is then you will become the complete owner of that item. The car will belong to you if you are paid in full. Let us say if you have not paid in full, does the car belong to you then? No. The agency has the right to take away your car. In the same way, the transactions have to be completed. Here I have given you two examples. In real life, there are examples which get converted into actions of different kind. There are certain things that happen in this world. Let us say a terrorist takes a gun and guns down 10 people. Now when this kind of an action happens, what is the repayment? Think about it. You will come to know that if this one person has gunned down 10 other people, have they returned it back in the same coin, the value worth? They cannot because they are dead. So these 10 people have to return it back to this one person. How does he get in return? The first person may have to kill him once. This person is dead. Can the other 9 people kill him again? No. So, in one lifetime, one transaction is complete. And maybe it will take 10 lifetimes to complete the entire transaction. Did you get this? For completing a transaction, it may take multiple lifetimes. And then the question of time also comes into account. How did this happen and at what time did this happen? We are not going to talk about collateral. We are only going to be focused on that one thing. Let us say 2 men have a fight. One man bashes the other person up and gives him 5 punches. What is the return? Isn't it important that that person has to also punch this person 5 times? Then only there is an equalization. You can equal it only when that happens. Now, let us take another difficult subject. In marriage, if there is a wife beating husband, the husband beats the wife so much. Now the husband slaps the wife 10 times. This woman doesn't slap him back. This transaction is not completed. Now, if you were to be the judge, what is it that you will say to complete this transaction in reverse order? Can this woman strike that man back in this life? Not at all. She may be a meek person. She may not even strike. She may not say a word. But she's going to carry it with her as a database. It's going to go in as knowledge. This man slapped me 10 times. In the next life, or maybe some other life, she may have to meet the same person, but in the reverse order. And when it happens, that person will have to slap this person 10 times. These are very frivolous examples which I have taken. These are simple examples for you to understand the law of karma. Seriously, if you look at a law of karma, it is much more complicated than this. But since this is the beginning of this chapter called the law of karma, the book of karma has to be explained in a very simplistic manner. You feel very bad when there are rape cases going on, when there are atrocities happening across the world, there are wars happening, people get killed, people get murdered, some people become very rich, some people are very poor, some people are hand-to-mouth existence. You may ask me, why is this happening? God is very unfair. Here the topic of God has come into the picture. Please let me assure you, right in the beginning, God is not responsible. It is your karma. It is your transaction. You have used your mind to do the transaction. When you slap a person, you have used your mind to do so. The terrorist who has picked up the gun has done it with very clear intent. Or maybe the intent is different. We don't know. Remember, it is the mind which helps you do some kind of transactions. These transactions are leading you towards karma. Now, it could be words, it could be actions. When you say certain words to a person, You call them names or you praise another person. When you praise another person, the person feels mighty pleased about it. Don't you think that that person has to return that favor back to you by saying something nice to you? Maybe in that lifetime he is not going to complete it, but in some other lifetime he has to come back to praise you again. It's not only the money transactions, it's not only relationships, it could be any kind of transaction. Now these transactions, we will take them up point by point in the later videos. I have explained to you in terms of words, actions, deeds. Now I told you there was a fourth one, which is called thoughts. Now you may say a thought is not responsible for any action. But please understand this, isn't it the thought which created something? The thoughts create magic in this world. Do you know, if there is a very beautiful person who is going in front of you, you're going to look at that person and say, wow, this is so nice, this person looks so good. Now this may not come out as words, but the thoughts got created somewhere. And these thoughts in turn have performed a transaction. You might have praised this person in your mind. The thought occurred. That person may not know about it. Maybe in some lifetime, this will get reversed. That person will have a thought. The reason why thoughts create magic is because thoughts have the power to control this world. We give a lot of bad words to someone just like that in our own mind. When someone cuts you across on the road, don't you say certain words in your mind? Maybe your windows are up, you are not going to say them loudly, but still the thought occurs, idiot. Well, you called him an idiot. The word has not come out of your mouth, and yet it has come in your mind. It is just a thought. And this thought gets translated into what is called as karma. So thinking is also a part of karma. What is it that we teach in spirituality? Not to have any thoughts, words, actions or deeds. This is exactly what spirituality teaches you. Not to get involved in karma. This karma is very dangerous. Remember in our last episode, we were talking about rebirths. Rebirths happen because you have to complete the transaction. Did you know that? So if any transaction that you do in terms of thoughts, actions, deeds or whatever, you have to get it back, give it back to that person. If you have taken money, you got to return it. If you have taken something from another person, it has to be returned in the same way. You cannot say, oh, I gave him a chicken instead when he is supposed to be given an elephant. Do you think these two match? Not at all. If you have taken $1 million, you cannot return that person in potatoes. Do you get this point? You have to return it in $1 million. These transactions need to be completed. They cannot be halfway left behind. Otherwise, the book of karma is always going to be open. This book of karma is embedded within your system. It is right inside of you. And this I will explain in my next video how this book of karma is there embedded inside of you. And which part are you going to use it? So in this video, we have just introduced a topic called karma. If you have any questions based on this topic, please write them below so that we will be able to take them up. Thank you.